And let's see what those expectations are for tonight. We have our political panel. We have Joe Sapecki, a Democratic strategist and former state communications director for President Obama, and Stephen Thompson, our GOP strategist and Governor Walker advisor. Both of you guys have lived through election days. Take me through what it's like to be on this day. And let's look at the presidential race. Joe, we did not see Hillary Clinton in state at all during the general election. Was that a sign that she felt that this state was comfortable and she had it? And will it pay off?
I think it was, and I think that's proving to be the right strategy. We're hearing tremendous reports of turnout in the city of Milwaukee and really all around the state. From the early vote numbers to today, it looks like once again Wisconsin is going to be one of the top states in the country for voter turnout. I think that's a tremendous thing no matter which team you're rooting for. It's awesome to see people out there voting. You still have time. The polls don't close until 8 o'clock. And as long as you're in line by then, you too can have your say.
Stephen, we saw Donald Trump make 5 campaign stops here. He was trying to put Wisconsin in play. Republicans haven't been able to do that in the past 7 presidential elections. Is it in play? Does he have a chance?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, this has been one of the most unpredictable election cycles of our lifetime. The polling would indicate that it's slightly out of reach, but I think that it has been more competitive than states like Virginia or Pennsylvania or Michigan. So I think at the end of the day, our Senate race is probably going to be a little bit closer than the presidential here.
So let's talk about the Senate race. Joe, let me begin with you. The poll at Marquette had this at 1 point of a difference. What does it look like in terms of turnout, and where do you want to see turnout that will determine the outcome?
2 key demographics and vote totals that I'm going to be looking for in that race. City of Milwaukee. I'm hearing that earlier today the city was on pace to almost match 2012 turnout, which was historic. I think most people expected that to drop down a little bit without Barack Obama at the top of the ticket. If the city of Milwaukee comes out as strong as it did in 2012, that's really good for Russ Feingold. I also want to see what share of the electorate the youngest voters, those aged 18 to 29 are. I think that's been sort of missed in the polls because that's a hard group to reach. But the more votes you see from the city of Milwaukee, the more younger votes that are out there, the better it's going to be for Russ Feingold.
Stephen, when you look at the numbers and you look at the state, what has to happen for Ron Johnson to pull off what would be a come-from-behind win?
Well, I think for Ron Johnson, you've got 2 key areas. You've got southeastern Wisconsin, which there's been a big debate about whether or not the voters, Republican voters, would come home on Election Day. I think that they will. The bigger question for him is going to be the Green Bay, Appleton, Fox Valley area. If Ron Johnson can get numbers typically to what Scott Walker gets, which is in the 60% range, that's going to keep him competitive through the rest of the night. And if he can also hold his own in rural communities in western Wisconsin, he could be in there till the very end.
Stephen Thompson and Joe Sapecki, we will hear from both of you later tonight when the results coming in. We appreciate your insight for now. So Shannon, we're expecting to go inside now for Paul Ryan, House Speaker Paul Ryan. We've been outside because Secret Service was doing a security check, so the next time we talk to you, we'll be inside.
Sounds good. Well, now it is